You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show 519 for Sunday, the 22nd of September, 2024.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Well, hello and welcome to this week's show. I will be continuing my trip report with a little bit of a foodie angle this week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be back as normal next week. First up, apologies if my voice is a little bit hoarse. It's been a fun old week in education this week, and as always, us teachers for the first few weeks in September pick up every bug known to man. But the show must go on, and I have a cracker of foodie treats to talk about with you guys this week. So get yourself comfortable, get yourself a beverage of choice, and perhaps a little snack, and be ready as I go through my foodie trip report. Well, we have previously talked about the Columbia Harbour House, so I'm going to move on a little bit to some of the other eateries that I ate at during my trip. And then I'm going to end with my top 3 and my worst 3 of the things that I had during this holiday. You know from past shows, I am a massive lover of Kona Cafe. So it goes without saying that of course I had an ADR for breakfast at my favourite eatery. For many people, they enjoy the wide range of different offerings at this eatery. Things such as Tonga toast, beware, humongous appetite or sharing will be involved with this banana stuffed sourdough French toast treat. Oh my word, never had it this trip, because you know what I'm going to be ordering. I'm going to be ordering the macadamia nut pancakes. So we did. I ordered one and Caroline ordered one, which when I say one, I mean one pancake, because the macadamia nuts on the pancakes on the menu is a trio served with the macadamia nut butter, pineapple sauce, your choice of ham, bacon or sausage. For me, 3 pancakes is enough to feed me for the entire day. It's just too much. I know from previous trips you can just get the single pancake with the macadamia nut butter on top. If you want any of the protein, that's a little bit extra. So as our server George came over and said, "What would you like?" we ordered, and Caroline ordered a Coke as well. Well, we waited about 10-15 minutes and our food arrived. Perfect. Did what it said on the tin, but at this point Caroline still had not got her beverage. So we had to chase up George. So we just literally sliced into the first taste of these pancakes and the bill came. And I'm like, okay, he's probably a little bit annoyed that he's got 2 people with a check of about $16 between them. I get it. But the service was really poor, really poor. The minute we'd sort of said this, we only wanted 1 pancake each. Yeah, it sort of went downhill a bit. So just bear that in mind. I had it in my mind I was going to leave him a really good tip, because I don't like to buy food I'm not going to eat, especially when I'm going into Walt Disney World, into the park. I'm not going to be carrying around 2 macadamia nut pancakes all day. So the plan was to overtip. Well, we decided to undertip because it was awful service. Really, really poor. Anyway, moving on. As to the actual pancakes, my experience in the past in the pancake itself were whole macadamia nuts. Disney have changed it up a bit. The macadamia nuts that we were served were literally chopped and diced and very fine into the pancake. And for me, it just didn't have that same taste, the same flavour. The crunch was gone from the pancake. Caroline also didn't like them, as not a big fan of macadamia nuts. She wanted to cut round them and leave them, but she couldn't because they were just literally blitzed into oblivion. So I would say, out of all of the places we ate, Kona Cafe was probably going to be one of the lowest places for the experience on this trip, because it was so disappointing. It really, really did not set us off on a good fest, especially as a couple of days earlier we had the amazing service with Tim over at Steakhouse 71 with those absolutely divine raspberry white chocolate streusel crumble pancakes, chalk and cheese. So for me, maybe on my next trip I might miss going to Kona Cafe, or I might mobile order the pancake and just take it and eat it on my sad self somewhere in the Poly. Just my thoughts. Have you been recently? Did you notice a change in the quality or the service? Let us know. Somewhere we went to eat twice when we went to Disney Springs was the Polite Pig. And initially, my very first trip here, going back, 6 years ago, I didn't enjoy it. We were sat under an air conditioning duct. The food was cold. It wasn't great. I ordered wrong. Since that trip, I always make sure I don't sit under the air conditioning duct because you literally get frozen. And I've been very careful on what I order, because what this place does really well, in my opinion, is the brisket. It is absolutely divine, and you can get your portion of brisket with some sides. It comes in at a really reasonable price. It's $22 for that, and you can get a side, you can get the little cornbread, and we shared it. It was absolutely amazing, and we had it twice. We didn't even want to change it up. We got the mac and cheese, and in my opinion, the mac and cheese is probably the best at Walt Disney World for a quick serve location like this. It was stringy cheese, it was well-cooked pasta, it was tasty, it was delicious, and I could have just eaten the pot on my own. It literally wiped the floor with the other version that I'd had before over at Regal Eagle, which previously was my favourite mac and cheese, but we'll come back to Regal Eagle at a later point. So, highly recommend this. I know in past trips I've previously said to you, if you're in Disney Springs, go to Amorette's Patisserie. Well, I've not been this trip. I didn't go. And that's purely down to the price point going up and me being a little bit more frugal with the spends. So I avoided it this trip because I knew I'd go in, I'd see something that was absolutely amazing and pay possibly a little bit over the top, because their little petite cakes now are over $20. Before at 16 it was okay. But with every cent I spent, I converted it in my head to English money, and I was thinking, is this good value for me? And I was kind of thinking a $20-odd cake wasn't. So, sorry, Amorettes, you got taken off the list. Well, another place I wanted to take Caroline to and eat at was Sanaa. We were very excited to do this. We fitted it into an Animal Kingdom day. So we'd been at the Kingdom in the morning, then we got the bus over to Animal Kingdom Lodge. You have to make sure that you get off at Kidani Village, because that is where Sanaa is located on the ground floor. We checked in. We were like 45 minutes early. I think we were kind of eager for what we wanted to eat. And they accommodated us within 5 minutes. We got a lovely table. Fantastic server. She was really, really good. She told us about all the menu offerings, and she did not give us the shame factor of wanting something to share like we'd previously got at Kona Cafe. In fact, she was saying, look, ladies, if you want to have just one dessert between you, it is fine. Just tell me what I can get you. I'll make it happen. Completely different attitude. Well, we didn't want a massive meal, but we did want to try the Indian style bread service. I have had this previously. I adored it, and it did not disappoint. 5 different breads with 9 different accompaniments, depending on how brave you are with your level of spice, going from, something really soothing like the mango chutney or the cucumber raita, going all the way up to a spicy jalapeno lime pickle. We really enjoyed this. The portion sizing of the bread had dipped from last time, but I felt for the $22 for 2 people to share and have a little taste of Indian style bread was a really good starter. Perhaps if you were going and you wanted a little bit more of a substantial meal, I would recommend the lamb kefkas, which come with a Tunisian couscous salad and a pear ginger chutney. They're $15, and that would just round off a really good appetizer for two, in my opinion. There are lots of things on the entree menu, but as I said, we didn't want to have a big heavy meal. We were virtually stuffed to the rafters with all the lovely bread, but we did get tempted on the dessert, and they had 5 on offer. They had a wildebeest cake, which was a flourless chocolate cake for your chocolate lovers. They had a giraffe tower mousse, which was banana cake, peanut butter, so definitely for somebody who likes that fruity, peanut buttery combo. They had an ancoli cake, which was another type of chocolate cake, and it had baobab curd, coconut gel, meringue horns. We saw it passing our table quite a lot, and it did look very attractive. However, we decided to settle with the black sesame sundae, and this was not a sundae as you normally would anticipate in a sort of like a glass bowl. It was a scoop of black sesame ice cream. It had a roasted spiced pineapple slice, and when I say slice, I want you to think more wafer rather than chunk. It had a tea caramel, a milk crumble, and raspberry crisps. It was divine. We shared it, and possibly with the portion sizing of the ice cream, we could have done with 2, but it was still very good food. We really enjoyed it. We paid our bill. We left her a really good tip because she was amazing. She was so good. She was so on it. Another place we went to go and eat was Backlot Express. Oh my word. I think this is the place you send people you don't like, because the offerings at this place sound fantastic. Teriyaki chicken bowl, smoked barbecue pulled pork burger, cheeseburger, Cuban sandwich, Southwest salad with chicken, Southwest salad chicken pieces. Caroline wanted to have the chicken strips. So I really wanted the Cuban sandwich, which was a classically pulled roast pork, sliced ham, Swiss cheese, pickles and mustard served with plantain chips. Absolutely divine, but I really can't abide mustard and pickles. So I had a chat with the server and I said, is there any way that when it's being made, I don't mind waiting, that these items can be taken out? It was at this point I found that all of these types of sandwiches are pre-made off-site and they toast them there. So there was no way to personalise and remove anything I didn't like. And that kind of surprised me. So I said then, well, you have the Southwest salad, thinking, salad can't come pre-packed. It does. There was no way they would have been able to remove the dressing for me, and it was just not going to happen. So in the end, I ordered the chicken strips, and for some reason, they completely messed up the order. I ended up with 8 chicken strips. I don't know why, it should have only been 4, and then some fries. The breading was so incredibly thick on these chicken strips, and the fries were cold. Guys, if you don't like someone, tell them to go and eat here, because it was awful. The fact that you have to go and hunt out your sauces and your drinks, and on the day we were there, not all of the beverage station and drinks things had been replenished, so I was wandering around looking for cutlery, looking for sauces. It was a cluster, and I do not recommend it. The only thing that I would say is well worth you going for is as the Wookie cookie. As big as your face, massive, 2 oatmeal cookies with a vanilla cream filling with a milk chocolate Wookie cookie style slash of chocolate on top. Oh my word. $6.79. That would serve as a whole family snack, or if you're a hungry puppy, that would be perfect for you. I highly recommend it. The cookies were delicious, the cream filling delicious. Don't bother with anything else. Now, I did mention on the podcast we had cut back on our ADRs for this trip, but one of the places we really wanted to eat at was Le Crêperie de Paris, We were very excited about this because our good friend Anthony Markham had eaten there, oh gosh, not so long ago, and he'd said he absolutely adored it. Previously, we'd decided not to go because it was a package meal. They didn't order the free to choice. It was only the fixed price for $39.95. And for us, paying out that sort of price was quite a lot of money, and neither of us really felt that was a good price we wanted to pay. So you are now able to order what you wish. We arrived on time, we were shown in, and it's not a massive eatery. It's, probably looking about 20-25 tables. There were 3 tables in use. The place was dead. If you were going to vote this place for atmosphere, it would be 0 because there was no buzz, there was no vibe. Staff were hanging around talking to each other. They were bored. There was nothing for them to do. So the vibe really wasn't great. And bear in mind, it wasn't like an off-peak hour. This was 5:30. If you wish, you can have the soup of the day or the salad, both at $9.25. You can opt for the fixed price, which includes a choice of the salad or the soup. And then you get a choice of 1 galette with a glass of hard cider, soda, juice, and then a choice of 1 dessert crepe. So you basically get to have everything on the menu but one of. Again, we didn't go down this route. We decided to share one of the buckwheat crepes, the galettes, and we had a little bit of a discussion on what we fancied, and we went with the Savoyard, which was raclette cheese, caramelised onions, bacon, imported Bayern ham at $18.50, and we shared it. In hindsight, we should have got 1 each. 1 shared was not filling at all in any shape or form. I think even 1 to myself I would have struggled to have been full with, because there was a sort of a palm-sized amount of the raclette cheese and the bacon and the ham, and then round the edge where they'd folded the pancake prettily, it was just empty. So I wasn't getting a good shot of protein or anything. It just, We had a look at the menu, and for the dessert, we were both really, really tempted with the gourmand flavour hazelnut chocolate spread with whipped cream. We didn't want any whipped cream, but we did pay to add on some ice cream, and he offered us raspberry, and it was the most divine, beautiful, soft as you like, smooth, sharp ice cream. We should have got 2 scoops. It was amazing. It was kind of shareable, but we both left hungry and had to go snackage elsewhere because it really didn't fill us up. Those people who wish to go and eat here, just bear that in mind. You can add things onto your crepes for dessert, such as a shot of alcohol. They do try and upsell all of these things, but for us, we weren't going to pay $8.75 to add alcohol onto a pancake. It's just not for us. So I don't know whether we picked it on a bad day, guys. I really don't. I just feel for the price point of what we paid, it didn't fill us. It didn't do the job. I wasn't happy. But it was nice to say that I had the experience. And quirkily enough, the attraction right next door, Remy, we never rode the entire trip. It didn't bother us because we've ridden it past trips, we've ridden it at Paris, and we didn't fancy a 50-minute wait. While we are still in Epcot, I would like to talk about my experience at Summerfest. Summerfest, for those who aren't in the know, is a little bit of a quick serve window right at the back at the Germany Pavilion. You wouldn't know it was there unless you looked. It was well hidden. It is well hidden. This is the place where you can get the souvenir speciality, really big 24-ounce stein, and with it can come a range of beverages. You could have the Beck's Pilsner, a Warsteiner Dunkelbier, or my favourite, the Schofferhofer Pink Grapefruit Hefeweizen beer. Those range between $19 and $20.25, and that's obviously upcharged because you get to keep the stein that's with it. They don't have a great deal of food that you can get here. They have a bratwurst served on a pretzel roll, sauerkraut, house-made paprika chips. They have the pretzel bed pudding. They have a jumbo pretzel, and then you can get an assortment of beers, you can get water, and they have a couple of really nice range of 5-ounce pours of different German wines. And if you like your wine, go and have a chat with them and they'll recommend which one might suit your palate. But I was there for one thing and one thing only. I was there for the pretzel bread pudding. So this is how the conversation went. Hello, I'd like a pretzel bread pudding, please. Oh, I'm really sorry. We've sold out. Oh. But we will get some later. She said, let me find out for you. So she disappeared and she came back and she said, they're going to be making up a fresh batch. Just bear with us. And I said, oh, thank you. And she said, you seem very keen about this. Have you had it before? And I said, yes. And I said, the only reason I found out about this amazing pudding is that a friend of mine, the lovely Marla Chan, told me about it. And I'm just addicted to it. It's the most delicious pudding ever. And sadly, Marla's passed away now. So I really wanted to get it today in her honour to sort of say, Marla, you're with me. We're going to enjoy this together. And the cast member just disappeared and she came back and she said, they're about to bring it out now. I said, oh, thank you. So I handed her my credit card and the cast member, Fran, said, no, it's on Disney. And I was like, at this point, I was a blubbering wreck because it was just so kind of her to do something like that. And I was just happy I was getting the pretzel bread pudding. I'd have paid quite happily twice the price because at $4.79, it is a massive, massive bargain. Lovely, soft as you like pretzels with a slight tinge of those lovely allspice herbs. And then there's a custard with caramel on top. Oh my word. I normally would say share. I devoured it whole. It was delicious. Caroline didn't get a look in. Sorry, Caroline. And that was a big, massive thank you to the wonderful Fran. So those are some of the places I ate at. But what I'm hearing you saying, Michelle, what about your resort? Well, Pop Century. It's under refurbishment in the dining room when we got there. So only a third of the huge food court was available to us. The rest was covered off in black sheeting and the walls of death everywhere. And we'd been and had a few things from there. We'd been and got the beef and vegetable stir fry. It was delicious. I'd been and got the mojo roasted chicken for Caroline. I'd been and got her some hash browns for breakfast and tater tots and things like that. So one particular day we'd got back from the park and I was hungry. I mobile ordered, went to pick it up. No word of a lie. My $15 portion, which was in like a usual takeout container of beef and vegetable stir fry, was literally green peppers in a sauce with rice. I had to play hunt the beef. So I thought, well, maybe it was the chef who'd made a mistake and thought I'd ordered the vegetarian option. So I took it back and I said, look, do you mind just having a look at this? There's no beef in it. I said, I've got the best part of 25 chunks of green pepper. And to be honest, the green pepper's the bit I'm going to leave because I just can't handle it. It's just not me. So I'm literally paying $15 for these 2 tiny pieces of beef. And the guy said, oh my word, I'm so sorry. I'll go have a word with chef. Came back with another serving. And to be quite honest, it wasn't a great deal better. So if you are going to eat at Pop, please hold them to account. If they are going to give you below par food, go back. Make sure your voice is heard. That's all I will say. So I was talking off air with the lovely Anthony Markham. Hi, Anthony. And he said, could I do the 3 best things I ate and the 3 worst things I ate? The 3 best ones are so easy. It's got to be those Steakhouse 71 pancakes. They were sublime. They were delicious. I loved them and I would happily eat them every day for the rest of my life. The pretzel bread pudding, that was amazing. And I know it's a past food I've had before, but it was amazing. Another thing which was a new to me was from Caramel Couche. They had Snickerdoodle caramel sandwich. Oh my word. 2 cookies, frosting in the middle, a drizzle of caramel. Those Snickerdoodle cookies were fantastic. Apart from the fact this English girl can't get her head round it's not a cookie made of Snickers. That's top 3. Absolutely. Every time. Yum, 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 yum. In fact, I bought that cookie and I ate a little bit each day for the next couple of days and it was just as good. What were my 3 worst things I ate? Number 1. You're going to be screaming at me now, aren't you guys? You know what was the worst thing already. It was those darn hush puppies. Oh my word, so disgusting. Then I'm going to say the beef and vegetable stir fry at Pop Century, which interestingly they used to call Mongolian beef and vegetable stir fry, and they've removed the word Mongolian. And then I think another really bad one has got to be Backlot Express. Those chicken tenders were just disgusting. There was nothing tender about them at all, although I do admit Disney now don't refer to them as tender, they call them a strip, and that's probably why, because they are no longer tender. Anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed my foodie fest on this week's podcast. I'll be posting some content over on @DisDreamGirls on our Instagram, so if you want to see some of the videos and pictures and content about some of these foods, why not hop on over and take a look. I'd like to also give a big thank you to our lovely Patreon supporters. Thank you ever so much. I have some Disney magic I would like to send your way, so I will be getting in touch with you guys about what I'm going to send to you. Anyway, until next week, it's a goodbye from me. And as there's nobody else to say goodbye, it's a goodbye from my study where I'm recording this from today. TTFN!